We need to do 50 quotes a week to hit our goal. We did 18 last week. We missed the mark pretty bad. Did I hit it?
Not even close.
Morning. 40 yard signs.
Morning.
40 signs. Time to go crazy, flood the area, probably get a call from the sheriff's department threatening to take us to court. Happens every time. But we got to put work on the schedule. So let's go. Boom. Number 10 of 40. We're running the Alpharetta market here. Boys are dialed.
Oh, Grant. Go like in like the grass, like facing like that lane. Yeah, that's pretty good. Done. Be done.
40 bomb.
Boom.
Boom.
All by 11:19. This goes a lot easier with two guys.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Miserable with one guy. Tolerable with two.
It might honestly be double the speed
Oh, 100%.
with two people.
No doubt about it.
I mean, shoot, I got all 250 with steaks for like $1,100.
One job.
So literally one job pays for it.
It's a huge mess in here, but the plan is I resituated the shelves. We had them both on this wall over here, but it took up the whole wall with inventory, and then we kind of crammed all the guys' lockers and their stuff in that corner. But that meant that all their bags were sitting on the floor and like nothing had a space. So I got this little cabinet here. It's like a sealed cabinet. I'm gonna use it for chemical storage. So we have like chemical jugs, our 50 to 1 fuel, that kind of stuff in here. That way this can be used for some other things. And then the plan is this little open area right here. I wanna stop doing our morning meetings in there. Since we have so many guys now, it gets super crammed. We're gonna put a TV up here and we're gonna have permanent seating right here so that like, if we're training, we can do it out here. If we're doing a hiring event, like a hiring group, we can do it out here. I just think it'll be a better setup. It gives us more utilization of the same space. And now these shelves, I can access them from both sides. So I can kind of treat them like two shelves instead of just putting things where they're visible. And then Grant just hung up this dartboard over here. We just put a line down on the ground. I'm hoping that once this gets cleared, it's a little bit more of a usable space, but there's gonna be a lot of holes in that wall.
Oh,
Next door neighbor's truck, I mean, just like we do, parked out front of the shop. And even though all these trucks have backup cameras on them, he was looking at the rear view mirror on the inside instead of the backup camera and backed into the back bumper of his truck. And it is a brand new, like nice Ram. Like the dent is not huge, but it's in the bumper, the metal bumper of a new Ram. So he's finding people on Facebook that are willing to do it for less, but all the shops that I talk to, it's like $1,500. If you get a new bumper, the part is $800.
Hayden said he got like 5 or 10 quotes all for Google and they were all $1,500. I just posted the pictures on a Facebook group and was like, and I was like, direct message me a price to fix this. You know what I mean? And I've already got 2 people at $500. So we just saved $1,000 just like that. All right, so we just got back from doing all those signs. Grant took off to a quote and we're about to go get some lunch. And already, Meg is texting me that Austin from the city of Alpharetta called. He said that he is gonna throw all the signs away if we don't come and get them. So it's already starting. So we went to a different city because in coming, we've already had like the sheriff knock on our front door at my house and threaten to take us to court for the yard signs. So now, does that stop us? Obviously not, because it's just threats, obviously. But I thought that was funny how we literally just got back here and they're already, making the threats.
Grant and I just got back from doing more yard signs this morning. Did another 20 or 25 yard signs. So You know, sometimes when you get slower from a leads perspective, you just gotta get back to doing more, boots on the ground marketing. While we were out, we gave out some brochures to some gas station owners and some other things like that. So like I said in a previous clip, sales is not generally the problem in our business specifically. I'm sure every business kind of has something that is, mainly the issue. And generally, sales is not the problem for us. More times than not, we need more capacity and more trucks. But right now, sales are down. We are not just gonna kick our feet up and wait for things to go back to normal. We have to do all that we can. Really, I think what the issue is when you are busy, it's really easy to stop doing those things and kind of get complacent.
We need about 55 quotes a week to hit our goals. So about 11 quotes happening every day to stay on track. Last week, we only did 18. So let me show you all how those numbers break down. So last week, we did 18. We need to do about 55. We want to do about $30,000 a week in pressure washing at this moment. About 120K a month on a standard 4-week month is where we are shooting for right now in the busy parts of the season. So let me show you how this breaks down. At 55 quotes per week, that is 11 per day. Out of these 55 a week, our goal is to close at a 55% close ratio. I'll do CL for close ratio. So that would give us 30.25 jobs. On just a normal week for us, our average ticket's going to be around $1,000 just for easy numbers. So that would be $30,250 in revenue landed for the week, getting us to that goal. Now, last week we did 18 quotes. Out of these 18, we did good from a closing rate. We closed 12 out of 18 of these, which was 66% close rate. I think average ticket was around that $1,000 mark again, so we closed about $12,000 in revenue. What this meant for us is we had got ourselves to a point where we were booked out a couple of days, if not a week, and we basically took a couple steps back, having to book jobs for the next day or for 2 days out again. We do have to be pumping out a lot of quotes to make this kind of work happen. And I think the question is going to be, hey, why was there only 18 last week? Honestly, I'm still asking myself the same question. And we're honestly have been going through a couple weeks in a row like that, where it just feels like the leads are a little slow for us right now. I'm not sure if other pressure washing business owners can relate to this across the country. I'd love to hear in the comments. But for us, May and June are our biggest months as far as revenue goes, or the amount of jobs that we're doing in the pressure washing space. And honestly, this is going to be the first month that we don't grow from the same month last year, if that makes sense. So June 2026 is likely going to be the same as what June 2025 was. And that just has not happened to us yet. We're gonna have to be more creative, if you will, to get jobs, or we're gonna need to keep stacking service plans, or maybe service other locations. So I'm still trying to figure it out. And the next part, we'll be talking about getting back to the basics.
You are good to go.
Hayden, does the name ring a bell to you?
No.
Okay, so it was a new construction window cleaning, and you did the window cleaning by yourself in October, and she wasn't happy with it.
Was this
and
the one
never
with
paid.
the stickers all over? Yeah.
So she never paid her bill. And she just put in another request for a quote, and Meg hit her with a message. I respect this a lot. Hi, we would be happy to quote your job, but first need you to pay your outstanding balance of $1,200 before we do so.
Yeah. I remember that one was New construction window cleaning. Every window on the entire house needed a sticker to be peeled from top to bottom. That was the whole shape of the window.
It was like
and then scraped.
kind of a sales fault,
Yeah, it was
in my personal opinion.
what I heard initially was, I just need you to scrape the bottom windows. There's not stickers on any of the other ones, which I already was frustrated about because we typically don't scrape exterior windows just because of the risk, especially brand new ones. And it ended up being every window had stickers on them. Every window got scraped. They all got sprayed with like Goo Gone and wiped. And I was there for like 10 or 11 hours, and the project was $1,200. So not worth the money. But I say $1,200. She never paid a dime.
Yeah, she never paid it.
She never paid a dime.
I didn't realize how infrequently Hayden and I are together in these videos.
Yeah, basically never.
Basically never. And maybe like the first video when we were literally riding in the truck together, when that like roof wash was going bad.
I mean,
like,
we do see each other for like 5 to 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, and like the mornings or something. Recently, it's been like a daily like 30-minute debrief call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say generally speaking, if we are talking to each other, it's about problems. It's probably not very healthy.
Calling him to mention to him the cost of something expensive that
You
I
have to
need to
buy
run
or
by
something,
him.
or-
Yeah, I need to run by him before we
Yeah.
make the purchase. Leave no trace. It's just continuously pouring.
All right, quick ramble, quick tangent. I'd love to see if any of y'all have any advice for us, if any of y'all have kind of gone through these growing pains before, but I'll kind of let you know what's on my mind. So in the month of June, we were forecasting to do closer to 125 or 130K in revenue, and we're gonna be closer to about that 90 mark. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about 90K in revenue. The younger version of myself would have been freaking out at that. But, you know, we do plan things in the business around hitting certain numbers, and falling short of the goal by, you know, $35,000 is a lot. And so we are trying to get back to the basics. So first of all, let me not go too far. I had to look at like where the issue was coming from. Was it our average ticket? Was it the closing rate? Was it the amount of leads? And things like that. And while that answer varies all the time for businesses, it feels like 1 month it's the average ticket, and then the next month it's the production, and then the next month it's the admin. It's always gonna be something different. Right now, it's the leads things for us. So we've had to kind of go back to some of the basics, because I know that every business has kind of their strengths and weaknesses, but usually the amount of leads or the amount of sales is not generally the issue for us. It's usually like we are limited from a capacity side with the amount of trucks, equipment, and technicians that we have, kind of on that like seesaw thing that y'all might have seen that analogy. If you have like your technicians and how much work you can complete right here, and then your sales right here, we're kind of more like this usually. But for once, we're kind of in the other direction right now. So I had to kind of, like I said, go back to the basics and rework some things. So I think in the last video, y'all saw us shooting a bunch of new meta ads. We're kind of trying a new strategy on that. So not only did we look at the videos, but also like the copy. We looked at the Facebook forms, like the landing pages. So kind of like the full funnel, like not just the videos. We did increase marketing spend for the time being, just until we kind of get things rolling again. So for the short future, we are $200 a day on Meta, and then $100 a day on Google PPC, and then whatever LSA spends. So, you know, whether LSA is 50 or 100 or whatever, so we could be close to $400 a day right now in paid ad spend, which is probably nothing for some people, but for us, that's kind of a lot. I guess I just mentioned Google. We usually don't even run PPC ads. Maybe that's not a smart decision, but you know, we don't. And so we just turned those back on. We got all the tracking for those set up, and so we're kind of those rolling. Grant and I went out and we did like 40 or 50 yard signs, and we're probably going to do the same thing tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Kind of, just trying to dial things back in. I put together a list. So I put our list from Jobber to Claude, and I had to exclude everybody who has used our services in the last 12 months. And then I had it right on there, like their number, what their status is, what services they had done, how much money, did they spend with us. And we are picking up the phone and we are dialing every single one of those. The mass text, the mass email is super easy. We realize that we're missing a portion of people who like the good old fashioned phone calls. So we're not very far into that. We're like 100 names in, but we've already sold like 5 or 6 jobs. So I just want to be in the loop with these things and kind of understand where the business is at sooner, if you will. And just, I think everyone kind of has heard that phrase, like understand your numbers or like know your numbers. So we are still trying to get better at that, even at the $1 million plus mark, right? So yesterday I was in Claude and I put all of our profit and loss reports in there. I put every report I could possibly put from Jobber as far as like hourly rates and services and everything. And I'm learning some things, It told me, hey, you break even at about $78,000 a month. And not that that is our fixed expenses. Like we don't have that much in fixed expenses. But what happens is when you start working, you spend more money, obviously, in labor, bleach, fuel, sales commissions, etc. So your number to break even is much, much higher than your fixed expenses, if that makes sense. So now I also learned that once we surpass that number, we get very profitable, right? We start, profiting like 60 cents on the dollar. Kind of once we get past that mark, that's why it's such a big deal being at like 85 or 90 grand versus like 120. It's like a huge difference in the profit. So just really making sure that I am putting my focus where it needs to go to, increase that or decrease that. Maybe the production side needs help, and putting my focus where it needs to go. If anybody has experience or is going through this right now, maybe drop a comment, send me an Instagram message, and I'd love to chat about those.
It looks so jank, but I'm using like scrap wood pieces that are already torn up that we have. I'm about to put a wooden dowel on the top so that I have a place to store our high pressure hose. That's not a gigantic brute garbage can or on the shelf where it's like an awkward shape. I don't know for sure if this is gonna work, but with scrap wood, maybe this will work temporarily until it breaks, and then I make one that looks decent. This looks like an exorcism tool. That looks decent. I mean, for the time being. I'm gonna make a better version of it for sure, but it's better than nothing. I don't know. I already feel like I'm getting absolutely crushed when I go out for like sit down dinner. When I'm by myself, it's like straight fast food or leftovers, whatever's in the fridge. I've done it once in my life that I've sat down at a restaurant on my own, and it was a Cracker Barrel, and it was actually so good and cheap, but the entire time, I don't know what it is. All I was thinking is like, I look so weird right now sitting by myself at this table. And I was playing the little peg game. I feel like the more Matt and I talk about like outgrowing this space, the more I realize like we haven't outgrown it yet. We're just underutilizing it. I move all the technician stuff over here where this wall was totally empty with the workbench and the tool bench and everything. I made a little washing cart reusing a rolling cart we already had so that hopefully we can get more consistent about washing the trucks because we can just roll this right out to them. Now there is junk all over the floor right now. Beginning of the day, Matt said this looks like it's gonna be a 2-day project, and I said no way, I'm gonna be done by like 5 o'clock. It's 4:31 right now, and it looks like the stuff is moved, but it looks like I've done nothing because the entire floor is covered. I got ChatGPT to do a mock-up. This little open area right here where the shelves were, we can have like a TV up, a whiteboard, and we can have folding chairs out. And that'll be like this space right here.
I know that we are bigger in terms of revenue of a few companies out there, but there's also companies that are much, much larger than we are. But I think when I was smaller or when I was younger, I had this thought in the back of my mind of like, when we get to X, Y, and Z point, then everything will be running smoothly. Like, so it was, you know, a 500,000. And then when it was like, okay, when we get to $1 million, everything will be running smoothly and I'll just have this business making a ton of money. And I just still want to get the point across that, you know, there's still problems, obviously. And I'm not saying that to discourage anybody. You know, we just want to be like as real as possible and let people know how it actually is. There are still plenty of problems. And when you have a problem at 200,000 or 300,000, if you get to $1 million by just spending more on marketing and adding more trucks, but never fix that problem, then that's just going to be more of a headache or a bigger problem at $1 million. So, you know, we have things, we were actually just having a conversation in the car. If I was to look back on the problems that we were facing 2 or 3 years ago, I'm sure I would laugh at them now, right? I'm sure that we found a solution and figured out how to not have those things happen anymore. And the goal is that kind of what we're going through right now with kind of, hey, it feels like every month it's something different, or maybe it's the callback thing or the hiring thing. It's like, if we put in enough effort as business owners and keep, you know, grinding and talking to mentors and other people that are in the industry, the goal is that 2 or 3 years from now, we're looking back on what we're facing right now and going, I can't believe that we were so stressed out over those little problems, because we found solutions to those and things like that. I just think that that's the main point that I wanted to get across, is that don't think that we've got everything figured out because we've got 4 trucks and an office and things like that. There's still problems. We just might be focused on different things than what we were a couple years ago.
I was with Austin here yesterday, doing some setup in here, trying to clean up some of the mess, get us more organized in the shop. And I'm gonna kind of show you a little bit of what I did. Still a little bit of a mess in here, but there's some things that we need to sell, we need to trash, donate, all kinds of stuff. So you can see here, looks like a jumbled mess right now, but if you saw what it looked like before, it's a lot better. So starting on the left side here, we have this little square on the ground. This is where we keep broken or equipment that needs repair. Might have to change the color of that tape there, but they just take it off the truck and set it there so that we always know when things are going wrong, what needs to be repaired. We got our supply tank over here for filling up the trucks. Out in this corner, we have a second supply tank now, so we have a much bigger capacity. And we also have all the technician bags on a shelf. We got yard signs here. This is a new cabinet, it's a chemical cabinet, so it's not quite as organized as I'd like for it to be, but we at least have the chemicals put away. We have garbage bags, gloves, things like that in here. Over in this corner, we have our storage shelves. So we got drinks up here for the guys to take out with them. We got all our small parts like quick connects, downstream injectors, hose clamps, just random things kind of segmented in these little drawers here. Down below here, I have some aerosol cans, like some spray paints and things, just in a little magnetic, little Walmart Hyper Tough cabinet. We got the Milwaukee M12 battery chargers, tape storage on the shelf. I have some things segmented a little bit. I could do better with the organization, but you can see we just have things in bins. Down here, some open top bins, and down at the bottom, we have some cubes for transferring chemicals over. I made this little storage for our high pressure hoses. It's not the greatest. You can see here we have this QR code where you can fill out the inventory, note when you take something away or when you add something back. We got some more storage over here, some roof safety stuff like our pitch hoppers, Ridge Pro harnesses, leaf blower, dryer vent cleaning kit. This is all stuff for doing oil changes on the trucks, and then just some leaf blower stuff, our Cougar paws, the goat. So more roof safety stuff, and then up top here we just have some sales folders for our salesmen to go out and sell Christmas lights and washing. In this corner we have some uniforms, and I got the squeegee and the mop just hung up on the wall just to save some space. Back here is kind of the just junk that I was talking about before. So This surface cleaner is in need of a bar right now, so I just have it separated out over here. Got this little rolling workbench, so I have a good work surface to work with. And I'm thinking that pack out will probably just go in the back of my truck just to move tools with me while I'm out. We hung up a little dartboard here just to have something fun to do while we're in here. Put a little tape line down on the floor so we know where to stand when we're playing. Again, we got the technician lockers, boot dryer, and then this right here is for our truck washes. Just kind of trying to be more intentional about how we use this space. I know there's junk all over all the surfaces. This looks like a mess right now, but if you saw what it looked like before, this is a major improvement.
Looks like he's in an awkward position right now.
Yeah, I'm doing something weird right now.
I was just coming to ask if you're confident that we're gonna turn things around.
I think so. I mean,